If I choose to live in a world where I don't want people to express themselves, in a way, I'm discriminating against them, right? In a way, I'm oppressing them because I have to be able to be educated. I have to be able to surround myself.
This statement, it confuses me a little bit because in America, you can express yourself.
On college campus.
Not many.
Right. So why is that? There's a lot of people here that probably do support Trump, but they're afraid because they can't wear a hat, because they can't have a certain opinion, or people will demonize them.
No, absolutely.
I mean, people judge me right now.
Yeah.
They see a brother with a Trump hat on, and it's like, I want that to not always be the case. I want people to be able to dialogue like we used to do when I went to college, and that wasn't too long ago. And we can have a conversation. Man, I disagree with you, I agree with you, and it's cool. I was in the class called the Sexuality 101. We had a transgender person coming into class.
Right.
Very balanced. The person was kind, gave us information. We received information. Hey, that's your life. At least I have a little more information and we go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they won't push it down your throat. You're anti-trans or something if you disagree with the person. So I want it to be more of a dialogue, and I want people to have a conversation, hear different thoughts, and then we move on from there.
Right. So you want people to be able to freely express themselves.
100%.
And you're noticing that, at least with the Seattle campus, that there's a connotation with that hat, right? Connotation with people supporting Trump that people are afraid of.
100%. I walked here and the girl said F Trump when I was walking.
Right, and we got individuals that are Trump supporters that like are afraid to express themselves.
True.
Right, so I don't agree with Trump. I don't agree with his values, but to the standpoint that people should be able to freely express themselves, I'm certain of. Right, people should be able to freely to express their point, because if I choose to live in a world where I don't want people to express themselves, in a way, I'm discriminating against them, right? In a way, I'm oppressing them because I have to be able to be educated. I have to be able to surround myself with.
So this video is about Trump supporters being able to openly express themselves. This statement, it confuses me a little bit because in America, you can express yourself. And what I mean by that is that it's legal for people to walk around in Trump hats, or it's legal for them to walk around in Kamala hats, or you guys get what I'm saying. It's legal here. What I think he meant is that you are going to get scrutinized if you wear a Trump hat in a place like Seattle or Washington or an extremely liberal place. You're going to get openly scrutinized if you wear it. Doesn't mean that you can't express yourself. It just means that you will be scrutinized for it. But it's still legal. Nonetheless, let's see what this debate is about. This is a liberal college student having a discussion with Officer Tatum on why he supports Trump, what he likes about Trump, and I'm excited for it. Nonetheless, let's continue.
Different perspectives, and if I'm afraid of those perspectives, that means I'm bigoted. Right. So I should be able to hear what you're saying. I should be able to hear why you agree with Trump, and I should be able to stand my ground. If I'm telling you to shut up, if I'm trying to silence you, that means I'm afraid. And I'm not afraid of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to silence you, and I want you to express why Trump is the option here.
Yeah. It's a multitude of reasons, right?
Right.
I look at Donald Trump when I first of all, I thought Donald Trump was a great guy before he ever ran for president.
Okay.
I mean, the guy was very popular, very successful. Everybody loved him.
Right.
You name the person that didn't love him. He voted. He donated to Hillary Clinton and Democrats, and they loved him.
Yeah, I saw
for the most part.
I saw his stuff on Oprah too, and she
seemed
really
he was
like
on
him
Oprah.
too.
Oprah loved him. She encouraged him to run for president.
Yeah.
I mean, people may not know that. He helped Whoopi Goldberg at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy nobody had a real problem with him, so I didn't.
Right.
He runs for president. I was a Democrat.
Right.
That's what I believed I was. I was a Democrat.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Texas.
Texas? What city?
Fort Worth.
Okay. I have family in Texas.
Oh yeah, Fort Worth, Texas. I believe I was a Democrat because that's how I grew up. When you're black in America, you're a Democrat.
Right,
before you figure out who you are.
That's common. That's common.
So I didn't vote for Barack Obama the first time because I wasn't informed, and I said I'm not voting for the guy just because he's black. I wanted to, but I said I'm not going to do it. Let me be informed. The next time he goes around, I should have been more informed, but I wasn't. But I watched all the debates.
Right.
I said, let me do a step, watch the debates, every debate that he had with Mitt Romney.
Right.
Mitt Romney. And after watching the debates, I thought that Barack Obama did a better job. I thought he articulated himself very well. I thought he was better than Mitt Romney. So I voted for Barack Obama.
Right.
Once he became president, I realized, oh shoot, this guy's causing more division than he's causing unity.
Yeah. How did you see that?
His policies are terrible.
Yeah.
Because of the rhetoric that he was pushing. And I was a cop at the time, and he was bashing police officers. I was a cop.
Oh, no way.
So he was bashing police officers, and I said, long story short, I started to realize that I don't connect with them, and I'm a Christian.
Right.
And
so you're religious as well.
All the values in Christianity don't align with what the Democrats are pushing. And I said, well, no, I don't think I'm a Democrat. Then the election come around. I said, let me give the Republicans a try because I never looked at a single Republican candidate.
Right, right.
And then Ben Carson was one of the presidential candidates. I love Ben Carson. I think he's one of the most brilliant men that ever lived.
Okay.
I thought he'd be great as a president.
Yeah.
Well, mild-mannered, all the things you love in a presidential person. And he's very intelligent.
Right.
And then he dropped out and endorsed Trump. Now, for me, I thought it was a joke, right? I thought Donald Trump was just playing, right?
Yeah.
He's this big billionaire. He's going to get on there. He's going to shake up the thing, and he's going to walk away.
Right.
But then he stayed in the race. Ben Carson endorsed him, and I said, let me go to one of his rallies. I wasn't a Trump supporter. I wasn't a conservative.
Right.
I said, let me go to a Trump rally. I went. Everybody was saying, he a racist. They throwing black people out because they black. Look at this white supremacy. They said all that. I said, let me go and see for myself.
Yeah.
Man, I went in there. It was a great time. Okay. Everybody was cool. Everybody was nice. Everybody was generous. I listened to what he said.
Yeah.
I didn't just hear the sound bites on the news. I listened to what he said. I said, I agree with securing the border. I agree with lowering taxes.
Okay.
I agree with a lot of things that he's saying. These other politicians are just talking out their rear end.
Right.
He's actually saying something that means something.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I'm gonna vote for him.
Yeah.
And I've been a conservative Trump supporter ever since. And the guy, when he was in office the last time, I thought he did a great job. America was safe. There was no wars.
Yeah.
The economy did well. If you own a business and he cut corporate taxes, that's great for business.
Right.
A lot of people got raises because of that. There's a lot of great things that happened when he was in office. COVID-19 screwed a lot of things up.
Right.
I think if he had another chance,
for him too,
for everybody, man, everybody was struggling. Even college, you paying for your college degree and they got you at home.
Right.
And, so I felt like if he had a fair chance again, he would do incredible things for America and set us up for success. And
well, his fair chance again is right now. So where you don't really know the impact of a presidential election until after it's done. So we're not going to know how Donald Trump's presidency truly was until 2028, 2029-ish, where we're living like a lot of the policies he's enacting. But guys, let me know what you all think. Do you all think Trump is doing a good job? Do you think he's doing a bad job? Let me know if you agree with the Officer Tatum. One sentiment I will say is probably true is that in a lot of majority black neighborhoods or black areas, it is mostly Democrat. And I mean about 90% Democrat. And that's just what it is. I don't know if it's like that in a lot of different racial areas. I don't know. I've never looked into that type of thing before. I'm assuming it's like that if you're like in like a Republican state and you're in a small town in a Republican state, then you'll probably be majority Republican despite race or something like that. But I've never seriously looked into it. But it seems like the student honestly is a little. He seems like he likes what this is saying. He likes what Officer Tatum is getting at.
You fund a source to say what you want them to say.
Right.
So you got to look at who's funding these sources.
Right.
Is Big Pharma forming these? Okay, yeah, of course they're going to lead you back to Big Pharma.
Right.
Is somebody in the natural space funding research?
Yeah.
And you have to be skeptical because you say, oh, they just want you to have natural products.
Right.
So you got to do both, man. You got to.
Right.
So what's your next question?
I agree. You absolutely have to look at your own ideals and find evidence for that, but you have to be able to face the opposite ideals and be able to look at it and still come out and believe that's going to work out for you. So
true.
And also, this would be easier if there wasn't actual proof showing that during the civil rights movement they were using vaccination tests on communities of low-income black people that did kill them. That is something that's totally real. And so I would have an easier argument with you. But at least back then, there is evidence to support that the government is.
There's always evidence that the government, the Tuskegee experiment. Is anybody familiar with the Tuskegee experiment? Raise your hand if you're familiar with the Tuskegee experiment. The government literally gave a sample size of black people syphilis.
And this is true. It was
and
taught
they
in my
watched
own
them
class.
die over 40 years or so?
Yeah.
They watched them die. They told them that they were giving them a treatment for it, and they were actually giving them syphilis from the United States government. What did they give them, ma'am?
They had syphilis. These men.
No, they were in some cases they were giving them syphilis.
No,
Yeah, they were.
So
what were they doing? They just gave them placebo?
They were
Hey, no,
not
hey,
treating them.
they gave them
Which was
placebo.
really terrible. They were not
They
treating
they
them,
gave them placebo?
and they didn't tell them. No, they did not tell them they had syphilis, and they didn't treat them. They just followed their illness to see what would happen.
From my research, some people were given syphilis.
No, they
Yeah.
did not give them syphilis.
If they
Prior to
didn't,
CDC.
hold on. If they didn't, wasn't that crappy from the government?
Yeah. So
That the government did that
Yeah.
to people.
Government
So-
did not treat them.
right. So regardless, though, it doesn't
So they
matter
lied to them about syphilis.
because
They did not treat their symptoms,
That's right.
right.
and the government did it.
That's correct.
And you believe that the government is looking out for your best interest when they give you the vaccine. And they tell you that your kids should get vaccinated. You trust the government then, but you don't trust the government. What they already have proven that they
Yeah.
did to a segment of population in this country.
So why?
That joint was loud as a mug. I do think the government can improve and has gotten better than it was during that time. And we trust the government every day. When you're riding on the road, you trust that the government will build safe roads and bridges. Nonetheless, Officer Tatum's statement still stands. Whether they gave them syphilis or didn't give them syphilis, if they had the power to treat their syphilis and they decided not to, it is the equivalent of giving them syphilis. Like, you had the actual means to treat them and make sure they were safe, like easily available, and you decided not to do it. I don't think that's good either. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think about this video. My name is LFR Jojo, and I'll see you in the next video.